Hello, Tom.
What's going on, Pat?
Not too much. Merry Christmas, my good man.
Oh, same to you. Same to you.
May the Yule tides be merry and bright and joyful.
Yes.
And did I say merry?
I think so.
Okay. Do you prefer it to be snowing or not snowing on Christmas?
I want to say snowing.
Okay.
Because a part of me feels like I don't really have a preference, but I do recall slight disappointment in past years when it's been 60 degrees and sunny, you know?
Yeah, there's some magic to it, I think. I like it.
Yeah, so
I'm a fan.
So you're a snow guy?
Yeah, except now when I have to drive home. I want the road. I want I-90 to be clear because lake effect snow just dumps inches on like kind of the Ohio, Northwest Pennsylvania state line.
Feet even.
Could get pretty treacherous. Treacherous, like the latter levels of Tetris.
So,
but as a kid, hi, hey, hello, the Christmas episode.
Welcome,
one and all, to our Yuletide Yule log burning.
Yeah, hopefully a little more entertaining than that. I mean, that's
I keep going back to the Yule
background
thing, but there's been a lot of, the pun's been made, so I don't know what I expected. I just dove in, I wanted it, and it flopped a bit, but I'm still happy, I'm still excited. It's a fun time of year.
I don't really know what a Yule is. Is it a Yule, or is it...
Yule log, like, I don't know, the fire burning on a holiday evening. We'll have to get a fact check on that later in the episode, maybe. But there's something about seeing Christmas lights hung up, and then you turn to the radio station on accident when you're scanning, and there's Christmas music going, and I still, there's something sentimental about it to a certain degree. Whether or not it's your favorite holiday, I feel like it gets pounded into your head from pretty early that this is one of the bigger ones.
Right.
So pay the attention.
I'll tell you what, man. I've kind of enjoyed not doing much Christmas music this year because an old coworker last year was like obsessed with Christmas. It's all he talked about for about 2 months leading up to it, and would just play his Christmas music blasting full volume all day, every day until Christmas. And
Starting when?
Starting like around Thanksgiving. It was about a month.
That's become the standard, I think.
Yeah, but for 10 hours a day, 5 days a week.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. Never mind. I worked at a Dick's Sporting Goods.
Really?
For a little while there during college, and their mix was not great.
Was it like classic?
It's weird. I feel
Christmas
like
music?
the mix my mother had as a kid are the only songs I ever want to hear, So maybe everybody's like inner Christmas playlist is just off and based on what their parents forced them to listen to year in and year out.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's probably that way with a lot of things, what we're used to. But
ooh. You know what you just did?
What's that?
You laid down the Christmas episode's first hot take, and I'm all the about it. That's a gift to our listeners. Merry Christmas, everybody.
You're usually the hot take machine over here. I'm just the...
I like to dump them out when not a take for the sake of takes, but, But yeah, you laid one right down in the middle of the Reindeer tracks. And Santa was like, we all learned something today. But yeah, so I mean, like, so for you say like, your kind of views get shaped when you're a kid based on the traditions of your family. This is the Christmas episode. What was an average morning for you growing up?
Well,
whether you like it or not, we're going to do this.
It changed pretty dramatically over time. There was pre-dad, stepdad, and then there was stepdad. Do you remember any dad stuff or? I don't really.
You would have been really young, right?
Yeah, I don't really remember, to be honest with you, any pre-stepdad holidays. But even the stepdad era changed once. I think we've brought it up before. The hammer mill, which employed like half of Erie County's men.
General Electric and Hammer Mill were kind of Erie's two heavy hitters there for decades.
Right. And Hammer Mill shut down. They employed my stepdad, took a huge cut in salary. So Christmas really changed about halfway through my mom's second marriage. But it was basically my sister and I, my 4 step brothers and sisters, huge pile of presents around the tree because at that age everything was super cheap. So you had a lot to open up. And it was just kind of...
Had they been sitting there since Thanksgiving, or were they sneak in and lay them there?
Yeah. They showed up overnight.
Of course, Kris Kringle has his visit, so he contributes. My parents were big about that. They would let him in, and the stack would get considerably bigger by morning.
Okay. Yeah, we had no presents under the tree until we woke up.
Okay.
And there were,
I like that.
Yeah, and there were 6 kids, so it always looked it was a rather impressive spread.
Sure.
Come down.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a lot of toys.
Right. So the tradition at our house was everyone would be awake super early, because we're all stoked.
Yeah, dude. You wake up at like 4, and they're like, they don't want to get waking up until like 6, but really 7. But they won't mind 6, maybe. Can we just sneak down and get a peek at my parents use the same wrapping paper every year for the Kringle gifts, or Kringle wrapped it that way, obviously.
Right.
Chris, So we were like, oh, he came. Like, I know he did because that's the paper he uses.
That's awesome.
What was it, LL Bean, I think? My mom, since, she had bought in some big stockpile, and they had discontinued that paper while she had most of the nest egg still going. Mm-hmm. And it ran out one year, and she was like, oh, God, it's a Christmas tragedy. Like, what are we going to do? Like, it was my younger brother at that point, maybe. And I think my sister still might believe in Santa Claus, but you try to tell John that Santa ran out and switched papers this year, switched dealers. Anyway, so you came down, impressive spread, because, were they trying to make the kids happier because of the situation, or was this a standard amount as far as your recollection?
No, it was standard until he lost his job. I think the deal was like, I think we knew that we each had $200, which, again, back then went...
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that went a long ways when you were 7 or 8 years old,
Yeah.
But we weren't actually allowed to leave our rooms until we heard the Christmas music playing, so we would all be, like, in our rooms. They would start the Christmas music, and then we would all come, like, running from our various, areas of the house. And my mom always had cinnamon rolls made, which was always pretty nice, too. You
guys did it way better than we did.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Well, sorry, I'll let you finish.
But no, it's all right.
Cinnamon rolls?
Right. No, yeah.
But, like, we would just, like, jump on the bed, like, it's time. Like, whether, like, even if it's before this allotted time, we can't wait anymore. This is like, it is literally killing us. And we need to just tear into these bad boys. And so my parents would reluctantly get up. They're not even coffee drinkers, so they just were tired the whole time.
Oh, man.
We'd kind of wake up, and my mom would make a little cocoa or some tea or something. But, well, I guess let me rephrase that. We didn't eat cinnamon rolls because it's pretty specific. How we do Christmas. We do fondue on Christmas Eve.
Yo.
And like where you dip the raw meat in. It wasn't like cheese fondue. It was like oil,
Oh.
So we would have like scallops and, nice cuts of beef and some chicken. And so like we would get the oil going, and we'd go to church, and my Uncle Tom, who isn't religious, would stay back and smoke cigarettes outside and watch the dog and make sure the oil didn't burn the house down. Right. It was kind of perfect. Anyway, we'd come back from church, and we would just fondue, and we never had a nice enough, sturdy enough table, or like we'd always need 2 because of all the cousins. And so at the second table, it would be like a cheaper oil machine on like a plastic, like card table.
Right.
Like, just fucking begging for a tragedy. You know what I mean? Like, kids on this flimsy card table. Anyway, you know, you cook the beef. My mom made the nice sauces to dip in. Anyway, so then the next morning, everyone comes back for brunch. I don't know why my parents punish themselves in this way. So, like, we'd get done, and they'd have some wine with the family members after, oh, gosh. So, let's say the last guest left around 10, and that's, like, maybe it would have been later, right? So we go, you know what? I'm wondering if you did Santa dust. It's all coming back to me now. Well, it never left. We do it every year. They would leave the fondue. We would do a story out of this Richard Scarry illustrated book of Christmas stories, which is kind of a family tradition. It's like a book from the 40s, or I don't know how far back Scarry goes, but an old book that they republished. Anyway, we can get to that later, maybe. Maybe my favorite stories from that book. But we read a story out of that. We did the Santa dust, which is like some weird playgroup thing my mom learned or picked up somewhere. Huh. It's basically a bag of glitter, and you throw it on the front porch, and you spin around 3 times and say Merry Christmas. And then if you turn the light on and it sparkles, Santa's like, you were good, 1, and 2, Santa could obviously see the sparkle and know how to get to your house, right?
What?
It's like a cute thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's not bad. But as you get older, you're just like dumping glitter on your front porch, and it's pretty messy. You know what I mean? Like, so my sister, again, who I think still believes in Santa Claus, like insists, now that we're all in our mid-20s, you know, she's almost 30, that we still do Santa dust. And my mom, like, eats it up. She loves that Katie still, you know. It's like, she doesn't even bag it and put the little fake Santa note with the handwriting inside the bag either. Like, put this out so I can know. You know, it's just like, it's still in the glitter craft, like, plastic container.
Right.
Just kind of, anyway. So we get to bed around midnight, let's say. And then, yeah, promptly at 7, probably at 6. They probably know we're up and walking around the whole time anyhow. We get them up and we do presents, and my family comes back over. We have done all the dishes. My parents somehow overnight, probably my mom exclusively. My dad probably just kind of woke up and ate the cookies that we left for Santa, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know why my mom did this to herself. Again, I'm realizing the woman just tortured herself. I don't think she ever slept. She might be a vampire. She might have been dead this whole time. There's the twist. But we'd come over and she'd make quiche and this nice little sausage mushroom egg dish. And we'd have, there was a business in Erie that went out of business, but they had these nice little raspberry twists. And I guess that's why we didn't wake up and eat right away. We would wait. And, you know, we'd show our Aunt Colleen, you know, all the gifts we got and whatnot. And a whirlwind. So then we'd all nap and then go over to Aunt Colleen's later for some ham. She makes a mean ham.
Nice.
A little glaze. Anyway, so kind of a lot of family, like 3 visits packed into a 36-hour period.
Sure. Wow.
24-hour period, maybe. But, yeah, anyway, I was jealous of your cinnamon roll thing to wake up to, because that does sound nice. And the parents get to control when the morning begins with that music rule, which I now love.
Yeah, yeah.
So was there an official breakfast after? Like, was there extended family, or like, was there a Christmas Eve thing for you, or does it all kind of begin when you wake up that morning to the music?
I don't really remember like a specified breakfast. You did kind of bring up some repressed memories of going to church either that morning or like midnight mass or whatever they did.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, we went evening Saturday. Or, I mean, Christmas Eve.
Okay, okay. So that was always kind of a bummer.
Even as a kid, you didn't like... There was a pageantry to it. We were both Catholic, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Were you confirmed Catholic?
No, I didn't go through the confirmation.
Oh, okay. There's that, you know, they know how to party on Christmas Eve. You give it to the Catholics, man. They
you did not go to the same church
poinsettias and the choir, and you know, they don't give you like. So usually there's a lineup, a weekend lineup for churches, right? Where if you go on Saturday at 5, maybe that's when the good band is, or there's a good band at 11, maybe not at like the 8 a.m. or the 7 a.m. on Sunday. And if you go at like 5 p.m., like at St. James on Sunday, that's like the fast food version. 30 minutes,
right.
You're out.
Oh, yeah.
Up, down, love you, bye. Okay, kid. You know,
right.
But, I mean, on Christmas, they bring in the fucking all-star lineup, you know, we're talking almost fully manned choir, and they do the best they can with it, right? Candles and I always thought there was a spectacle to it. You definitely knew it was a more special night.
Sure. Yeah,
Plus there was like capacity crowd, dude. I mean, they were playing for the to the back.
It's the big leagues. I don't know, man. I always just hated that part of it.
Well, yeah. I mean, as a kid, you're like, toys, please, God.
I'm just, I can't play my new Pokemon game at church, so it's just get me out of here.
True. You could. Yeah. Some of those Christmas/Easter Catholics, they're just playing video games. This is just, we're going through the motions at this point. I'd look at those kids that came and sat on the folding chairs in the back, the real extra nosebleeds. Right. Like, you fucking lucky sons of fucking bitch, Yeah, why don't you get up and go to the bathroom in the middle, you fucking piece of shit. And not even because they were that. I was just so angry that I had, had gone weekly forever,
Yep. Well, that was my morning.
Actually, sorry, I keep interrupting you. That has become the podcast. Is you just like very innocently trying to tell the story, and every fucking word just like. But yeah, now that I talk through it, you're right. The church part was less than.
Yeah. So we did that. We got back from church, played with our toys, and then we always had Christmas at our house. So we had like the whole extended family, all the uncles, aunts, cousins, all of them would come over, and we always had filet. I remember that. I remember hating
what?
Just like filet,
like fish or beef,
filet mignon.
Shall we?
So we did that. My granddaddy would grill. The uncles would always play Risk. That was always the family tradition.
Wow.
And just watch football. I was obviously interested in neither, so I would usually be just alone in my room playing Pokemon or PS1 if I had one at that point.
You didn't play Risk?
No, I've never played.
What?
Actually, no. I played. So I played once, and this is my experience. So. My stepbrother Corey, who we both went to school with,
yep.
We're like, you know what? We're gonna play Risk. They're always playing it, so let's have our own game. So I remember
Did you play 1-on-1?
We played 1-on-1, but you need at least three armies. At
least three to keep it like. I mean, 1-on-1 just doesn't work.
I think the rules of the game you need 3. And this little bastard, he was like, "Oh well, I've played before, so I know how to play. So I'll take care of the 2 armies, and you can just do the 1. You can just focus on your 1." And I was like, "Wow, that's so nice of you. Great idea." Not realizing he was just double teaming.
He played you like a fiddle, and that's not even a good idea.
But I was like,
that is some childhood stuff for sure. Corey is a little wankster or a little
wanker?
Weisenheimer like that. Right. I was trying to come up with like I almost went for what the British version of it might have been, but then I realized I don't even know what that is. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, he was a little.
He's a
little con man. Well, he's grown up.
We actually live like 10 miles apart now.
Have you talked to him at all?
No.
Oh, yeah. Fair enough.
No, I mean...
Anyway, so Risk, where you were traumatized by him years ago.
I mean, it took me like 10 minutes to realize what was happening,
Sure.
So that ended quickly, but so that's like my mom's side. That was always, fine. My dad, and these are like my younger years, things changed around like 16 or 17 for both sides of the family, but... My dad, I had 3 stepbrothers and a stepsister on that side of the family as well. And they lived much more modestly. We celebrated Christmas Eve so that we could be there. And at this point when I was younger, all the stepkids lived there as well. So we did this thing.
This is out in the Northeast, the farmhouse?
Yeah. Or Ripley, yeah.
Into over the state line into New York, yeah. Right.
So we did this thing where everyone bought, I think it was like, we would go to the dollar store and buy 10 $1 presents. And I think there's a name for it, but like you take turns, like round robin, you pick something.
Oh, White Elephant.
Yeah. So we played that, and they were all like, I think everyone got like one real gift from the parents, and then all the kids played this game. and it was just everyone just got a bunch of like like toys that really only lasted for that day. But we would do this thing where all the unwanted gifts, which were like a lot of them, we would put in the middle of the room, and everyone would stand back on either side like a wall of death, and my dad would say go, and we would all dive into the pile together. And looking back, it's weird because those were the unwanted gifts. Why would we be diving into this pile of them? I think it was just for the sake of like playing rugby in the living room,
Sounds very fun.
No, my dad knew how to party. We got tons of
you
Chinese
just described
food.
like the most loving Christmas scene of all time.
Right. Yeah. So that, that was fun. Everything on my dad's side was always like way more laid back. Really just like kind of crazy.
Yeah. Moms have a way of, just cranking up just turning the heat up a little bit.
Right. Everything's super stressful, but my dad's like, dude, just chill out, man. Like, we're going to eat some food. And, he has a bunch of property. And at one point we had like 5 snowmobiles at my dad's house. So we'd, there's always snow in Ripley. I mean, my dad lived like 50 yards from the lake, and we just
from like Cleveland to Buffalo. That's like, if it does snow, it's going to dump.
Yeah. Yeah. So we just had feet, and we'd all go riding snowmobiles. We would build ramps in the yard and just crazy, like really good times, man.
Like zipping through the dead grapevines and stuff, or could you not fit in between?
No, not through the grapevines, but there was actually a pretty good snowmobiling trail behind those grapevines. So we would just, we'd like tie a sled to the snowmobile, and we'd try to get each other to fall off, and people got hurt. And I remember going over the handlebars of the snowmobile once, and it was just a good time.
Right. A little more laid back.
Yeah.
That does sound way better.
Yeah, but then, like my mom went through the divorce, and we sold our house, and we started having Thanksgiving at other family members' houses, and it's just never been the same.
Wait, Christmas, you mean?
Yeah, or just like any holiday, like Christmas and Thanksgiving.
Oh, this is post-stepdad?
This is post-stepdad, yeah. Like it was at my...
And you're at what age at this point? 7th grade, 8th grade?
9th grade.
Oh,
yeah.
Tough year.
Yeah. So it was just like, I don't know, it was never
Well,
the
no,
same.
you were coming off of 8th grade then. You're the greatest year, right?
Right. They were...
But then again, still another, having to go through the divorce again had to have been, what was the 2 holiday thing like, man? I mean, we have all these, I guess I've never really sat down and talked to anybody about that. I guess my cousins were children of divorce, so they would always have another, version of the same thing to go to, and they would always have to pick which meals. Like, is Aunt Colleen making this? Because I'm not going to eat that version of that. Just it seems kind of not only emotionally but kind of physically draining.
Well, actually, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm remembering now. We did my dad's on Christmas Eve. We did the presents Christmas morning, and then we would go to my dad's side of the family, like my paternal grandparents always had a thing at their house. So then I would see the extended family on my dad's side for like a late lunch type deal. And then I would come back to my house for my mom's side of the family for dinner. So it was like a full day of back and forth.
And trips to Ripley, it's not a long drive, but it's not a short one either.
No.
What's that, like 40 minutes to an hour out there to get out?
It's like 45 minutes. And then we would drive to my Uncle Joe's, which would be on the west side of Erie. So then you're going maybe an hour and 15 there, and then we're going back to my house. It was on the east side. It was a lot of back and forth. And I wasn't driving, but I kind of enjoyed it. I always enjoyed the kind of carefree vibes on my dad's side. I've talked about that before.
Right. So you and your sister, did you prefer one, or I guess you preferred the dad? Did it ever kind of f*** you up inside a little? Or I guess you just kind of, your conscious version of Christmas was always that anyway.
That's all I really knew. And I didn't start dreading my mom's side of the family holidays until like sophomore year of high school, when I started really kind of getting my own personality, and I changed a lot, and it was just weird. It was just fucking weird. So,
well, we talked about this in past episodes. You never really liked holidays in general with the fam, right?
Right.
Yeah, it was. Oh, we did this thing at Man Colleen. So, like, kind of bouncing off, piggybacking off of your after the morning part.
Yeah.
So we would nap, right? Or I would play my computer game, or we would watch the new DVD we got, or whatever. We would go to Man Colleen's and she'd make the ham and all that. But she had this interesting thing. It's like, I guess it's an English or a British thing. They're called, I don't know what they're called, but these poppers, and you pull them and they pop. And there's always like a joke written on a piece of paper, a little like crepe paper crown, and like a little toy. And it's like probably jacks or like dice or a top or something.
Sure.
But that was always kind of fun. We'd always have the picture of all of us in those goofy hats. Oh, I almost forgot. Gingerbread house making with Aunt Colleen was always like... We got better about it through the years, or better at it, I should say. So before my grandma got Alzheimer's, we would do... So there was kind of like 2 weekends out, we would do cookies with my grandma. And, either the girls' cousins would cut, or the girl cousins would frost, vice versa or whatever. And then whatever the leftover dough was, we would make a special something, I remember one year we tried to make the manger scene, and my dad ate Jesus like immediately, like no thoughts, and we were just like, he didn't even realize it, just like, ooh, cookie, like, destined to be a caricature of Homer Simpson. Just Dad, I mean, just so fast, Jesus, it couldn't like, anyway. So and then 1 week out we'd go to Colleen's and we'd make these gingerbread houses, and it would be a competition between, the families or the clans or whatever. And I remember one year, my Uncle Mike's kids, Chris, Beth, and Emily, they knew they were losing, so they just went for it and, like, put, like, half an egg carton on there, and it was, like, this weird Indian sacrificial burial ground type vibe. The creativity was earned them some points, but my Aunt Colleen was I think, kind of heartbroken, right. Like, you guys have ruined a beautiful trip, Trying to keep it positive, but like back then we were so bad at it because like she was not good at baking the pieces yet, because that's the most crucial part, is to bake the cookies, like the sides of the house and the roof, the things that you have to frost together.
Right.
Over the years you get better at making the cookie and making the right consistency frosting, but back in the day we were all kids that were absolutely no help, and my Aunt Colleen's just trying to buy the parents some time and help out, because she didn't have kids of her own, so. But yeah, we're knocking over the table. She used to say a prayer to Joseph, Jesus' human dad, stepdad, I guess. Okay. Because he was a carpenter. Like, he's the patron saint of carpentry, apparently. Oh, my God. Right. So she would like, Joseph, do your motherfucking thing, because it's about to go down. Like, they'd be like little shanty town houses, like all leaning, like, it would basically be a gingerbread house in Appalachia or something like that.
That's awesome.
But, yeah, good, lots of... Well, my family's a little weird, I guess. Like, I guess we were going to do, like, what our favorite and least favorite Christmas traditions are, but I do want to say this before we do that. We always took gingerbread house decorating and building and pumpkin carving and Easter egg painting, like too seriously. Like, it was a borderline problem. Or, like, my dad I would decorate the tree, and he would he'd put my ornaments in... He'd, like, reorganize it himself, be like, you're not, like, doing it right. He didn't say it like that, but it was just like, he would just later come back and fix it anyway. So, like, what is the point? It's like, I don't know. My cousin Beth had a really good idea about how to decorate the gingerbread, and she just would, like, she knew it, though, and, like, wouldn't quite let Chris and Emily chime in. But they were both real young, so just like, God, Beth, go, she. A lot of hurt feelings. Right. But her ideas were always the best by far, So then we tried splitting up by gender and this and that, and, Anyway. Taking stuff too seriously. The pumpkin carving part, there's nice involved, so luckily that was never too much of an issue. But I'm rambling, per usual. You want to do our favorite and least favorite holiday traditions or Christmas traditions?
Yeah.
Cool. If you'd have said no, that would have been definitely some dead air going on. Not that there isn't now, because now I'm realizing I hadn't quite had two ready. Do you have one?
Favorite Christmas?
Least favorite.
Or
one
least
of each.
Favorite. I think the least favorite was just how boring the Risk rolling right or football rolling right into the Risk game. It was just, I don't know, man. There's nothing for me there, and
we'll have to have a different discussion about Risk, and it's the game of world domination, dude. I mean, like, it doesn't get more official than that.
Yeah, so I think just I think I've on the Thanksgiving episode or whatever, I kind of talked about just not really having anything in common with my mom's side of the family. All the guys are just your typical
age-wise,
guy.
you don't have much, right?
Well, yeah, and all my cousins were like significantly younger. There was always drama with one of my aunts, and it was always, man, just always. So I think my least favorite Christmas tradition was the family time. Is that like really fucked up to say?
Yeah, but I like it because you're being honest.
Some good content right there.
Well, yeah, dude, that's quality. I mean, so what did you like? I mean, you just went through that whole explanation of how you spent 36 hours with these people.
Right. And God, I hope none of my family.
I mean, is there a silver lining? Is there something that tickled your fan? It was like, sounds like the snowmobiling with your dad.
Right. Well, I have to say, like, I don't hate my mom's side of the family. They're all like super nice people. It's just, I'm the black sheep, so whatever. But
sure, it is what it is. It's not the malicious to it.
Right.
That's just the way it was.
Right. So
plus, there's an age difference. There's not much you can do anyhow.
Right. So we had, after Christmas transition from my house to my uncle's house, we had a tradition of, I think everyone kind of got everyone like a smaller present. And we really took our time with it. Like, one person, I think the youngest always got the first gift. They would sit in a chair, read who it was from, open it, say the thank yous, give the hugs, and then that person would blindly pick a present from under the tree, and then that person would sit and open it. So opening presents took like a long time, and that was kind of nice. I really liked that. And as the economy gets harder in Erie, we're not like everyone's buying presents for everyone, so it's like a Secret Santa type situation. So that's, and I haven't been home since that even started, so it's kind of weird. I'll just like get something in the mail from a family member, and I've been pretty consistently broke for the past few years. So my mom just buys someone for whoever I got. It's
right.
So it's a pretty not very engaging situation.
Yeah, this year was pretty humbling for me. Like I said, I've been spending a lot of money on plane tickets to see Jess.
Sure.
And I asked my mom, I was like, what do you want? And she was like, my dad usually get this Kiwanis Club dining card. And for Erie, you spend like $25 on this card and you get to buy one, get one at like some of the best restaurants in Erie County or whatever. It's actually not a bad little thing. But I'm like, I can't order it online. But I'm not going to make my mom like, hey, can you buy your own gift and I'll toss you $25 when I roll into town? Right. It just doesn't feel. Anyway, it's just kind of, I haven't done a lot of planning other than trying to figure out this distance thing with Jess. And this year I feel particularly pathetic just because my sister kind of knows and she's like, I just want, so like Great Lakes Brewery in Cleveland makes this Christmas ale that, they only make a certain amount of it and it usually sells out and it's really delicious or whatever. And she's like, I just want a 6-pack of that,
Right.
Bring it in. I'm going to surprise mom and show up in Erie and, just bring it. I'm like, I'm going to buy you a 6-pack of beer for Christmas. She's like, it's what I want. Deal with it.
Right.
I'm like, yeah, okay. All right. Like, she's doing me a pretty big favor by, being excited about that, and that's cool. But anyway, definitely a humbling year for sure. Especially just, well, we should stay on topic. Maybe I can complain about this in another episode, but it has been quite the stretch of stuff. Like I told you before we started recording that like I got home from work tonight and my car kept running or trying to after I had turned it off
so
and put it in park. I was like, I've never even fucking heard of what this is. You know what I mean? Like, Jesus. You know, like, and like, let alone the $25 to get my mom for the Diner Club card for the gift. You know, like, I don't have an auto shop visit, so
right.
You know, trying to get creative. We'll see. What's weird is when you drive downhill, the rustling stops. It's anyway odd.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll just say one quick thing too. This Christmas has been different. Every year up to this, my student loans were still kind of on hold, and I had I was making pretty good money at the coffee shop. So like, God, one year I bought Megan this $900 painting that was like she really liked. It was like on display at our coffee shop.
$900?
Yeah. And
wow.
Yeah, and that.
Did you get laid?
No, we're saving ourselves.
Smart.
So like, and I got her more stuff, and that was like, it was nice. Like it was just nice to. Do
you still have the painting?
Yeah, it was the first thing we hung up. It's pretty cool.
What was it?
It was like it's basically just it's an oil painting, a big canvas. It's maybe not that big. I don't know, 24 by 36. It's like a tree with like a pink sunset kind of behind it. It's pretty cool. Really minimal, but it's cool. But this year, in contrast, I haven't had a paycheck in about 2 months. And I ordered.
Well, that's 3 Christmases worth of money right there.
Yeah.
$900.
Yeah, that was a little crazy.
Good for you, man. I'm just saying, like, my God.
Yeah, that was probably.
That's a down payment on an engagement ring right there.
Actually,
well, maybe a bit.
The one
I actually don't know.
The one that she wants, that's the entire payment. Which I'm lucky for that, but yeah.
Wait a minute, Tom.
Right.
You wait yourself one minute, because I think you just accidentally let it slip. Ooh. That you have intentions with this woman.
Right? After living together for 3.5 years, she's all right. I don't think
you never said anything to me about that, you son of a.
What? Well, I mean, it's just we've talked about it for a long time. It's not like
well, that's great for you two, but I thought we were friends. Are we growing apart? Like I was joking in the last episode about us growing apart. I'm just joking now too, but I'm just curious. Should I congratulate you, or what's going on here?
I mean, it's just it's.
No, I don't. I'm asking. You've discussed engagement ring plans, so you plan to at some point.
Yeah.
That's pretty fucking huge, man. Am I allowed to be excited right now?
Yeah, sure, man.
That's some Christmas fucking bombshell news.
I don't know. I feel like it's been.
This is an exclusive. This is our first. I mean, we're getting an exclusive scoop by one of the hosts of the show, but it's still the show's first exclusive. I'm allowed to be excited.
I appreciate it. But yeah.
Dude, are you gonna have a Christmas wedding?
No, dude, fall.
Ooh, we should have a wedding episode. Because I know like girls think about this, but I think guys think about it more than they're willing to admit.
Yeah. Well,
like who's gonna be in your groom party and stuff?
We can definitely talk about that after the new year.
Now I want to talk about all that stuff. Yeah, Christmas is great. Christmas is different now, and I didn't do my favorite and least favorite.
Okay. Well, I'm
gonna get a little sentimental.
Hold on. Let me finish this up real quick, just so I can tell you how.
What were you even talking about?
How
other than like
my year is too.
Trying to pretend that you having plans to propose to your current girlfriend isn't huge. You're just gonna slide that under the fuck you, man. I'm just happy.
If she, I don't know, man. If she even likes me, I don't know anymore. It's
Isn't it weird when you've been with someone for a while, but you're still kind of like, I wouldn't like me, like, I'm fucking weird, man. Like, I don't even think my mom even likes me anymore.
But yeah, I don't know. This Christmas is pretty pathetic. I bought 4 little things. 2 of them just got lost in the mail. Like,
nice.
One got sent to Iowa. I don't know how that happened. and another one just totally disappeared. No idea where it went. So I have negative $16 in my bank account right now. So I can't even.
You overdrew?
Well, yeah. So
I have like 40 in mine.
Well, here's the thing. I have a PNC bank account, and there are no PNCs beyond the Mississippi.
Dude.
So I don't even have a way to get money in my account. I have $200 cash on me right now. So I had to open a new bank account. I'm waiting for that to go through so I can put the money in my car payments late.
Are they going to give you any bonuses for joining a bank out there?
I don't know.
Because all the banks in Cleveland have like these competing offers. Like I got $300 bonus for signing up with KeyBank.
Dang.
Yeah, it was nice. It was basically I got a flight for signing up with one of the banks. Wow. I looked at it that way.
That's awesome. I should
nice.
Look into that.
Yeah. I think some banks are like, come be a customer for us.
Sure.
Sorry.
Well, anyway, how about you get to your? I think I only did.
Come be a customer for us.
I think I only did my least favorite, which I think is just too telling of my personality.
Sounds like you just fucking hate Christmas, dude.
I hate everything, man. I'm fucking miserable.
A negative Nelly, dude. I mean, that sounds like a pretty brutal, divorce situation for sure. And I'm sorry. I almost, now that I'm realizing a Christmas episode was a horrible idea.
No, dude.
Hey, Tom, you want to relive some pretty brutal shit?
Honestly, that doesn't. I don't think that factors in much at all to the negative.
Just because there's no memory of what was before it.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I don't know. I totally blocked that dude out of my life. It's whatever, man.
Oh yeah.
Whatever.
Well, that's an interesting stretch because I knew one half of that family from my neighborhood.
Yeah.
And then I knew you through a different channels, or I met you later. So
right.
It was weird. Like, I have two friends that are kind of brothers, I guess. That's cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
And I'd go over to hang with you and be like, oh, Dave, Corey, I see you decided to hang out today. Thanks for the heads up. Nah, just kidding. They were best friends. Yeah, so I think, my least favorite was how my brother and sister hung on to the one, because we would sleep in the same room and set the alarm really early, and even when we got old, they would still want to do that and be like. So the thing with me is I could never sleep on Christmas Eve. I don't know if it was a Santa thing. Right. It just ended up being this thing that just haunted me. I could sleep every other day of the year, but then I just sat there, and it became like, as I hit puberty, it was like kind of existential, kind of dark, you know what I mean? Like, right. As I aged, I would just lay there just like, and I can't break the rules or ruin it for my brother and go downstairs and try to watch a movie and go to bed. You know what I mean? Like, because I would be running into Santa, and I didn't want to do that to John. So my least favorite was them. One of them would blow up an air mattress, and then we'd all in the same room, and they want to play games and be like, isn't it funny how we're all awake? I'm like, no, guys, I am, and I will be for hours, no matter how hard we try. So can we just shut the lights off and pretend like, I don't know. And then the older we got, the easier it was to sleep in, and it wasn't as cute to set the alarm for 7,
Right.
My sister would be like, yeah, we do this every year. Be like, she's so, I don't know. That's what's kind of beautiful about it. My sister is, she's like
maximum hype,
ride or die family time. Like, she loves the tradition, and she's, you know what I mean? Like, even if you're not into it that year, she's like, no, we're going to go get the tree, and we're going to celebrate. You know what I mean? Like, and that's a really good thing, but like certain aspects of the stuff that doesn't translate from childhood could be a drag for sure. It's like, it's 7. Like, you are post college at this point. You know what I mean? Like, we both were out drinking last night. Like, anyway. So, and then my favorite, I guess, would probably be, oh man, Meister Burger.
What?
One of the characters in Santa Claus is Coming to Town. Kind of a lesser played claymation from that era,
Oh, okay.
Basically, Kris Kringle grows up. There's a place called Somber Town, and they're pretty somber there, as you can imagine.
Sure, yeah.
Basically, the mayor, Meister Burger, he's got like the lederhosen on, and he's like, he slips and falls on like a toy car, for Jimmy and Sue made out of wood type vibe.
Right.
He slips and falls, and he outlaws toys in the town.
Oh, man.
And, the oddly hot claymation school teacher is like, oh, the children, and he's like, no, I hate the tail, no, Meister. Anyway, so this hotshot rolls into town, and he's got red hair. He's a young Kris Kringle. His name's Kris Kringle. He's coming in. He sees the teacher. He's like, I'm going to try to, it's for the kids, but we all know, Mrs. Claus, I'm going to make you mine. So he befriends the woodland animals, and he meets this band of elves up in the mountains near the town. I don't know why I'm telling you the plot. I just love it so much.
That's great.
Anyway, he goes in and he gives a toy. He gets jailed by the Sombertown police, and it gets weirdly political. But anyway, he slips Meister Burger a toy, and he's like, yo-yos, I love yo-yos. And he's like, oh, you Kringle, I've been bamboozled. And then there's a warlock in the woods too, and there's two evil people, but the warlock melts his heart melts he's like, I'm mean. Wait a minute. No, I'm not. Love is cool. Sorry. This is... I am alienating listeners left and right throughout this entire episode, and I'm sorry. That's just my favorite. I just love... Because nobody else in my family really likes it, so maybe, like you said, it was a little time to myself or something to watch this really weird movie.
Well, if I can put one more nail in the listener coffin, I fucking hate A Christmas Story, or whatever it's called.
I'm not a big It's a Wonderful Life guy myself. I always just liked Dana Carvey's Jimmy Page impression. I just never liked any movies that he was involved with. I mean, it wasn't from our era, so how could we appreciate them?
Sure.
But, well, Clarence, But my aunt Colleen likes them a great deal. She has It's a Wonderful Life Trivial Pursuit.
Oh my God.
There's a version of Trivial Pursuit, which is a shit game as is, but specific It's a Wonderful Life facts. That's a fucking thing, man.
Well, I mean the movie with Ralphie or whatever.
Oh yeah. I guess I was just trying to tell you which one I didn't like. But,
okay.
Bogarting your points.
Well, what do you think about that? Because I mean, there's that one station that plays it 24 hours a day.
Yeah, TBS adopted it. Yeah. Something I learned about Cleveland when I moved here is the movie was set in a fictional Rust Belt town in Indiana, but they filmed at this house in the Tremont neighborhood in Cleveland, and the house is still there, and they turned it into a museum.
Oh my God!
And they have the leg lamp and all that, and it's in a pretty trashy part of that neighborhood, but so all the neighbors sell their front lawns for parking, and
oh my God.
It's actually pretty busy in the winter.
That's awesome.
It's just this really tiny old 50s house, that's been remodeled a little bit and has all the movie memorabilia in it, and it's kind of a quirky little Cleveland thing. So I do like it, and in Playhouse Square they do a version of the play in Cleveland's Playhouse Square every year, and so it's kind of a Cleveland thing, and I like the movie, so I do not see eye to eye with my co-host on this one, unfortunately.
Surprise.
Yeah. It's funny. I don't know. I liked it. It's not. Yeah, I didn't think it was funny the first time I saw it, I guess, but it grew on me. That's another one of my Aunt Colleen ones. She would always make us watch certain things.
Right.
For some reason, It's a Wonderful Life and Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, which was more of a Thanksgiving tradition movie, I just didn't get them. And I love Steve Martin and John Candy, but that movie I just didn't. I don't know. I don't like it.
I was really into National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, obviously.
Yeah. Our third co-host, Zach Paulson, and I would watch it every year.
Yeah.
Actually, might be my favorite. I wish Zach was here to talk about his Glog night.
Yeah, I saw that he was having it at first time at his new house. And
yeah, it looked like it might have been just him and his wife, but yeah, every year. And everybody I've talked to, so it's, for the listeners, it's this holiday drink where it's port wine and brandy and orange peels and cinnamon sticks and prunes and raisins, and you boil it. But in every recipe I've ever seen that isn't Mrs. Paulson's recipe doesn't have Everclear involved.
Right.
But they just dump a bottle of Everclear into it, and then it's like a highly flammable liquid. It becomes like a fuel at that point. But so they all gather together and just get fucked 3 ways towards the weekend drunk, just hammered, like a house full of people peeing off the porch by the end of the night, ooh, 1 glass, it'll feel warm, it'll warm your soul. We're all having 9. And Zach and I couldn't have been more than 16 the first time we went to our first Glog night. But they're like Swedish or Scandinavian or something, and they say "skål" like the Viking cheers or whatever, and yeah. So then Mrs. Polson ends up draining it and puts out the raisins, which are soaked in alcohol now. So you end up getting messed up off the raisins she has out. It's quite the sight for sure. Like after a while, like you're 16, but Mr. Polson's like, "Hey, you want a beer?" It's just like I don't even we're not even living in that world anymore, man. Like transcending, man. This is Viking Christmas. It was awesome.
Yeah, I've heard stories. Never been, but
never been drunker than that night in 2007.
Gee, I'm still drunk from that night.
Still drunk, dude.
Crazy.
Yeah, so crazy.
Man, what else? Elf obviously has become a newer. I feel like it's like our generation's Christmas movie, right?
Yeah, it's good.
What?
I don't know.
It's good.
I have nothing bad to say about it. It's just good.
Okay,
and,
fine.
Yeah. I don't like maybe the holiday vibe makes things better than they are. I don't know. It's like a good comedy, but it's nothing more than a movie I would ever want to see 3 or 4 times.
Wow. Honestly, I'm
Christmas
surprised.
Vacation I would watch every year
because
it's it was Zach and I. We would drink. After we left home and all that. We'd have Yingling or Rolling Rock or some kind of Pennsylvania beer, really bad beer, waiting, and we'd drink and watch that show or movie the weekend before the Glog night or whatever, and we'd always fall asleep halfway through the second viewing because we were like, let's just do it again, man. I fucking love you, man. Let's move back to Erie, just feeling nostalgic. But yeah, so I could watch that movie over and over once a year. But yeah, Elf, it's good, man. It's just real good, and I don't know. It doesn't to me. It doesn't have that lasting quality to it.
Okay, sure.
Again, nothing bad to say about it.
Do you
It's a Wonderful Life. It's real slow. It's not my era. I don't get it. Yeah. I know. I recognize that it's real solid and classic, and the angel gets its wing. Daddy, an angel gets its wing.
Oh, is that movie?
Yeah. Oh, he jumps off the bridge.
God,
something about some bull. If somebody over the age of 30 ever hears this, they're going to be like, those fucking little shits. It's like a classic of the silver screen. Oh, Clarence.
Right. What about those old? Like the Rudolph and.
Yeah, there's a Frosty sequel. Did you ever see that one?
No.
It's kind of like environmentalist propaganda in a way. They like the rich guy in town. John Goodman voices like the narrator. That's pretty much the only good part is that his voice can be heard during it. But like the rich guy in town, it's not even the same animation for the Frosty. The rich guy in town invents this spray that makes snow go away.
Oh yeah, I have seen that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really like the little girl's not that cute or funny or cool at all or relatable. It's just
no
like
redeeming qualities.
Yeah. It's like the Christmas, a shitty cartoon Christmas version of that already shitty Jack Black, Ben Stiller movie where they make the poo disappear with that spray.
Huh.
Envy? That was a stretch. I'm sorry.
So yeah, kind of a weird one. My sister and I, a couple Christmases in a row, made a habit out of watching like the Beauty and the Beast sequel, which was like a Christmas Christmas one. Have you ever seen that? I've
seen scenes of it. There's like a snowball fight.
Maybe. I don't remember much of it now, but I do remember there was a really
that was a pretty
party
guess on my part. Like, yeah, that winter movie where there's a snow related game, right? Yeah, I've seen it for sure, man. Yeah,
there was like a creepy organ in a fife, and the organ was trying to ruin Christmas. It got a little creepy. I remember being creeped out by this one scene where he kind of played every note at once.
What's fife mean?
It's like I think it's just like a piccolo. His name was Fife. I don't know if Fife is an instrument itself. But for some reason that movie has, it wasn't a very long standing tradition, but my sister and I definitely watched that around Christmas a few times. I might watch it, I don't know, find it online somewhere, some shady part of the internet, and see if it still holds up, stands the test of time.
I mean, it's a Disney
I don't know,
movie. Man. You're probably not going to have to look. You're not like going to the dark web. Like, hey guys, can I give you a Bitcoin to show me? Oh,
dude, a Bitcoin's like $1,000 now or something.
Can I give you? I saw some NPR episode or podcast talking about how people buying weed and stuff on the dark web. If you're just looking for a Disney movie, it shouldn't be that hard. You could go to Amazon, I bet.
Just rent on iTunes now.
Ooh, digital witnesses.
Oh, I do love that.
Annie Clark is
I've already talked about that, man.
St. Vincent or whatever.
Any Christmas albums that you come back to every year?
I think it's James Taylor and the Muppets or John Denver and the Muppets. I can't remember. Maybe it's John Denver, but my Aunt Colleen always played that. And they bring us some figgy pudding, and Miss Piggy's like, piggy pudding! Ah! She whips someone's ass and like, no, figgy! Stuff like that. And we won't go until we get some, and Monster's like, won't go! It's funny, and John Denver's solid. He has a few ballads in there that we could always put that on during log cat or gingerbread house making. I like that one a lot. Other than that, I can't think of any. What would you call it? Contemporary bands that we would like. I'm trying to think of any like good Christmas albums by like rock bands. Because growing up, there was just the mixes with, is it Duran Duran that does Last Christmas, like the good version?
Oh, I don't know.
Last Christmas, I gave you my heart. That's a good tune. I like that. Michael Jackson and Bruce Springsteen both do a pretty, Santa Claus is coming to town. Oh, yeah.
Right, yeah.
That's a good one. Shoot. Oh, man. What do I think? Oh, that SNL, there's this weird song that Horatio Sanz sang. So, like, he would be playing a ukulele and go, dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun, and then Tracy Morgan would just be holding a piano and moving his head back and forth. Like, did you ever see that sketch?
No.
Anyway, Jimmy Fallon would be playing the piano, and Chris Kattan was holding the piano, and Tracy would just be, like, running in place, kind of staring without an expression. Anyway, I don't care what your daddy says, Christmas time is near.
I'll check it out.
Yeah. Making his way to the USA. I wish it was. So that's, I don't know. What about you? What songs come to mind?
I don't have many albums, but my go-to is always Relient K's Let It Snow, Baby, Let It Reindeer.
Ooh.
Do you know that one?
Sam, I remember, I was going to ask, because people say good things about it. I just have never tried it. Because, the contemporary rock versions of these songs aren't necessarily the best way to do it, right?
No, they're really not. There's not many good ones.
Like, even James Taylor, who I fucking love, and you would think is built to just deliver a rockin' Christmas album.
Right.
Like, he fucks up some of the songs, too, and it's just like, no, I need this one to be Bang, and I need this one to be Michael Jackson. For me, it's just, to me, that's so clear who won each song, All I Want for Christmas with You by Mariah Carey is its own phenomenon, I could, to me, it's just like, pick the 8 to 10 that are the best and pick the 8 to 10 artists that did those the best. That's my take. That's my hot take, I guess, is I can't do one person's Christmas album unless it's the Muppets John Denver. I do like that one.
Well, the Relient K one's good. They do everything, I think, pretty surprisingly well. Also, this goes back to just my really early childhood, I guess, traditions with my sister. The first album I listen to every Christmas season is still Hanson's Christmas album from
that's
98 or something.
So lovely on so many levels.
It's called Hanson Snowed In. And
nice. Was it good?
It's good, man.
Yeah.
I listened to
those little dudes could play
the other day.
And
yeah,
they were all right.
It was great.
My sister had Mbop as her ringtone back when music ringtones were a thing. It was for 3 years. It was insane.
The little polyphonic ones?
It was the song, man. Yeah.
That's awesome. It's a good one. So those two are my go-tos. I downloaded Sufjan Stevens' He has a Christmas album. I think he's Jewish,
this year
which makes that interesting.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh no, I mean this was a while ago. Hannah actually.
That sounds like a Hannah download for sure.
Yeah, it's okay. It's the songs, like, I really love. He has a soft voice, but their vocal production is like really like, it's like just a whole choir of people pretty much. Ooh. And it's really huge, and I appreciate that. But it's all the very like religious songs, and it's just not. I can't do those, man.
Somebody on Facebook the other day did the choir of the bells or whatever, like dun, 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 and they the lyrics to "Slob on My Knob" by the 3-6 Mafia fit over it perfectly. Slob on my knob, and I don't have to ask my girl his dog.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was awesome, and it was just it'll get you in the Christmas spirit a little.
That's great. I did a Christmas song maybe 5 years ago. I did "Oh Holy Night."
You did?
That was kind of fun, man.
You gonna put the link in the bio or the link in the show notes?
No. You have to go
to SoundCloud and look up T Kells with 3 Z's and type in 182.
Dude.
It's only gonna be Aaron, man. He's already heard it. Shout out to Aaron.
Yeah. That was like something I did. I remember being at the house with the girls that you stayed at. I just couldn't sleep one night, man. And it was like maybe 4 a.m. I was like, hey, fuck it. I'm just going to record a Christmas cover. And I did it in like maybe
So you don't like the religious songs, but you covered
hours.
"Oh Holy Night"?
So I have some exceptions.
You got some splaining to do.
"Oh Holy Night's pretty sick.
Literally one of the words is holy in the name.
Right. There's a really good gospel version of that too. That's pretty killer. But yeah, I don't know, man. Like some of the, some of them just kind of weird me out. I don't know. And actually, just the other day, I went to Catholic school as you did. I went through 2 different stages of being really involved in a church, not a Catholic church, but
a Mormon church.
Yeah. I went through my things, and I feel like just for the first time yesterday, I was recalling the Christian story of the virgin birth, and these people followed the North Star to find them. And like for the first time, I was like, what the f*** is this? Like, do people actually believe that?
Well, there's some historical accuracy to the story, right? Or is there not? I guess I don't know enough to say, but like, didn't something like the gathering at that stable happen? Like some version of it?
I don't know.
Like there was a guy named Jesus, right? I mean, there was an actual like life lived by a dude that some of these stories can't come from, right?
I guess so. I mean, most religions recognize Jesus as a real person.
Right. Well, they said he was born in July anyway, so everything's isn't that right? Like,
yeah,
the historical figure or the real human probably was born during the summer. The Roman calendar or whatever would have, right? So like, it's a flawed holiday as is, but
yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like for the first time I just like thought about it and was like, dude, what the hell?
Yeah.
Like this is bananas. Like
it's come a long way. That holiday has done well for itself.
So I don't know. It's this year especially feels super weird. It's hard to get in the spirit because it's like, I've had holidays without my family, but I at least had like Megan's family, right? So, this is the first time I've ever done a holiday with
just you and your lady,
anyone. Yeah.
Who you are planning apparently on. Jeez, I'm not even gonna say it. I'm just hurt. That's all.
Yeah, no, it's yeah.
No, it's fine. It's whatever, man.
So yeah, I don't know. It's a weird year. I started working.
Did you put up a tree?
And we were at Target getting wrapping paper, and we were in the checkout line, and there was this really sad looking silver little like tinsely tree that's like maybe a foot tall, and it was like kind of trampled on, it looked like, and Megan like felt bad, and she was like, "Oh, I'm gonna buy it." So we have this little like foot tall plastic thing because we don't have any money. First of all, we don't have anywhere to put a tree. We have this like built-in bookshelf that my record player is on like the middle shelf. We have the tree on the very top and all the presents underneath it. So it's kind of like the presents are under the tree.
That's nice.
Maybe I'll take a picture. It's kind of cute. Yeah.
I had like one of the mini ones. Well, my mom had given me a little ceramic one with the little lights built into it. You ever see those?
Yeah,
they're like
man.
half a foot tall.
I love those. My mom had one of those.
Yeah, they're great. And then I had like a little mini tree. My sister's first time in Albuquerque, we bought a little mini string of chili pepper lights. So I always had like a little New Mexican chili pepper mini tree when I was out there.
Nice.
I left it at my old roommate Clark's, and I left the porcelain thing there too. Now I think about it. Obviously, this year there's no, if there's not money in the budget for a bed, there's not money in the budget for a tree. So it's definitely slim pickings. But hopefully, I'll get to drive home to Erie this, because there was a couple Christmases there in Albuquerque where it was, either Thanksgiving or Christmas. It wasn't going to be both.
Sure.
So.
Yeah.
Just pure distance-wise, and there was only 2 people in my department, so it's like, hey, Devin, you want Christmas this year or, Thanksgiving? So we took turns. But it's not, it'll be, get to drive home this weekend, hopefully, if my car...
yeah.
I don't know, man. That's fucking weird, right?
That's super weird.
Yeah. God. So my whole thing is like, so my sister's going to surprise my mom next Monday and fly in and be like, it's not Christmas, but I'm here, yeah. She's expecting me to show up, and I'm like, I don't even know if I can do the 1, let alone 2, And I don't even know if I can get to work tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like, I might have to take the bus. And it's fucking cold, man. It's really fucking cold.
It was 60 degrees here today. It was pretty nice.
That's fucking great, man. That's cool. Good. Thanks for that. No, sorry. I'm just bitter. I've had a long day, and I'm tired and cranky.
Dude,
you've done nothing wrong. I love you, and I'm just excited that you're going to... You and me... I won't say it, but I'm just excited for you. We can talk about all that later, maybe. Yeah, so I just hope I can get back to Erie, I guess, but part of me doesn't even want to go, and bring up all the... It's like, Mom, I can't, it's just like, man, what do you want me to say? I'm fucking broke, and I don't want your money. I just can't come this year,
Yeah.
But then part of me wants to be like, what if you got a Greyhound ticket? And, but then someone has to pick me up and blah, 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 blah. Just, it becomes, like you said, like your dad's Christmas is laid back, but when you get... Well, Beth's going to be in town, and, blah, 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 and when are you going to do gingerbread? It's like, what if, they're like, well, we'll just come get you and pick you up and bring you if you can't. It's like, no, that's obviously too much,
Yeah.
Don't do that. But the thing is, that's me, I'm, complaining about them being so nice and loving that they'd come get me from Cleveland, but it's just like,
right.
I don't know, it's like a pride thing in your mid-20s. I don't know what it is, man. It's just like, I want to be treated like an adult, but, also right now... This is just such a specific scenario where I give me a fucking break. I just can't. I don't want to have to explain myself. And I don't, can you treat me like a kid for the next 3 days, and then we'll just pretend Christmas didn't happen, and I'll see you next year, next calendar year. And I'll have my car fixed by then. I don't want your money, just let me figure this out. Because I will, have the money in a bit to do it. Anyway.
Yeah.
No, I just hate worrying about money because I've become a worse person, I think, to be around. And I'm probably a worse podcast host, too. I mean, I keep kind of just forcing my way into this storyline, even though we're doing a holiday episode, It's just like, well, you went out there and you were worrying about money, when you just got to Denver. It's just like, it fucking wears on you, dude.
That's bad.
And you're just you're one car mishap away from, some dangerous scenarios. You know what I mean?
I know, man.
I can walk to the bus stop, but, oh, man. I'm a lucky guy. At the end of the day, I'm just a really lucky guy. And, again, I could take a bus. And my mom, I could just not go home for Christmas. And I shouldn't be complaining and all that, but it is just kind of a bummer. Bad timing, weird timing, and I miss Jesse, and that's my wine rant of the day.
Right.
I bring it up once an episode, so we were running out on time, and I had to... do that bit once more. This version was pretty compelling. What do you think?
The what?
This version was pretty compelling. I do this every week.
Yeah, no, this was yeah.
The car fucking kept trying to start, Tom.
Dude, yeah.
What the fucking shit?
I've never heard
I honestly, I was looking around like, any neighbors here to witness? You know what's the weirdest is when something embarrassing happens and no one's around to see it, to even laugh at you. Like if you fall and like fall hard on like this obvious puddle of milk in the kitchen, like I Love Lucy style, and you're like, whoa, and you fall and you're like trying to look up like, oh, I deserve that. You know, like what a scenario I've gotten myself into. But when no one's even there, it's just so fucking sad because you just have to get up. And no one even knows, you know what I mean, except you, that you like fell or your car's fucked up and you're like, oh, what's all this about, you know, zombie engine? Like, no one was there. It was just sad and weird and I was cold and tired and anyway, weird.
Man, I was just remembered senior year of high school. Do you remember when I stole all the ornaments off our Christmas tree?
I do, and I saw that you put those in the show notes, and I was just curious, like, what was the motivation? Did you take them one at a time, or did you give them back?
So, like, by the office, we had this fake Christmas tree with just, like, these plain gold plastic bulbs on it, and I forget the original motivation, but I think my senior year, I worked it out so that I could have like 4 gym classes my senior year and like no math. I did like AP psychology instead of history. Like it was a dope year off for me. So I was going to one of my various gym classes and and I would walk by the tree from my locker and I would just take one of the bulbs and throw it in my gym shoes. And by the end of the Christmas season, the like 3/4 of the tree was totally bald. The only side was like touching the wall that I couldn't quite get to. Right. And it also turned into this thing that kind of pissed me off where the juniors would start taking some and hanging them around the school as like some prank.
Because this was your thing.
Well, not only was it my thing, I was collecting these things, man. Like it was less for me, you know? So my freshman year of college, I had these 2 like,
and then they draw attention to it, like guys, you know.
Yeah. So I had these
and
2 plastic bags.
The people ahead of us.
No, well, the people ahead of us and the people behind us, they both sucked. But I kept these ornaments, and I found a little plastic Christmas tree on the side of the road. The lights still worked. It was maybe 2 feet tall. And I decorated it with all the ornaments I stole from school. Well, no, I ended up getting rid of them after like freshman year of college, but I had them. Man. It was nice.
There you go.
It was a nice. It was a nice little memory. I don't know.
Yeah, high school's all right. High school's okay.
That's good.
You might disagree. I think I said that once in episode 2. I don't know. That's a nice little story, man. That's a good.
Yeah, it was fun.
Did you ever perform at the Rudy Awards?
I did.
Rudy, as in Rudolph Awards, was our Christmas pageant at school.
My freshman year, I played guitar with Anthony
Leto
and Kelly, the blind drummer.
He drummed?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. He was okay, actually. He was pretty good. I
Wait,
remember
not Billy.
No, Billy was in the wheelchair. Kelly was just blind. Oh. But he would always grab Aaron McCarthy's butt when she walked by in the hallway. So there were some suspicions as to
might have seen some shapes.
Right. But only hers. I don't know. It was weird.
You can't just go grabbing everyone's. There has to be some mystique to it.
I think I played in the Rudy's later on, but I might be confusing that with Academy on Parade, which was our...
No, it was Billy that used to do stuff to her butt.
He would too. He would drop the pencil when she walked by and then bend over to grab it and sneak a peek.
No, but I mean, Billy was bound to the chair, though.
Right. Yeah, so he would like drop a pencil and kind of like...
Oh, you're right.
Bend over and yeah.
What was the name of the blind guy again?
Kelly. I don't remember the last name. Kelly.
So they both... were they working together? And why Aaron? You know, she's obviously a very pretty girl. I'm just curious, you know, because they weren't even in our grade, you know.
Yeah.
So I
don't know.
Like, all right, listen.
I don't know. Maybe they had a thing for girls that were under 5 foot.
She was short. But yeah, the Rudy Awards was all right.
It was pretty fun. Do you remember the year that Mr. Sheldon, that was our freshman year, he like came back from like the war or something, like surprised the whole school?
We were too young to really realize the gravity of the situation, plus none of us were old enough to have any of his classes yet.
Right.
But yeah, he came and surprised the whole school and faculty in his uniform, and he sang the Paul McCartney "War is over." You know, that really, if you want, you know.
Yeah.
It was a fucking moving tribute. Just none of us could appreciate it in any way because we didn't know who the guy was at the time.
I still cried just because the energy in the room, I think. But
the energy in the room was pretty electric for sure.
Right.
That might be one of the favorite Christmas memories of, you know, you or my lifetime, if we're opening it up to non-family related things.
Sure, yeah.
Zach's Glug Nights and stuff were always great. But yeah, the Rudy Awards and that Sheldon thing, every once in a while, maybe one in every 3 years or 2 years, the Rudy Awards would have a pretty cool moment, you know.
My favorite was when Brittany Barco won 4 years in a row.
The thing is, so there's like this thing in the NBA where like LeBron should win every year, probably, right? But every once in a while, the writers get bored and like they'll give it to someone else. Hey, but this guy's such a... Anyway, I'm not going to get into the NBA stuff, but LeBron should win every year he's in the league because he just is... I mean, it's not even a debate. He just is the frickin' man, you know? Brittany Barco was the frickin'... You know, she was the ish for, like... No one was going to top that. Even if it was, like, a best effort by a band to bring in some strings in a section and really do a touch... You know, she could get up there with the piano and just play and sing... and on a professional level entertain an audience. You know what I mean? She had the chops for sure. I think she was deserving. I was one of those people that thought she was just the clear winner. I mean, like, it should go to the most deserving, not just to someone else just because, you know.
I mean, her voice was good, but I hated it. You know what I mean? Like, it was just
No,
so,
I
like,
don't. How?
Ooh, like, it was just over the top, like...
No, it wasn't, dude. It was fucking pro level. I mean, it was... you know, I don't know. I just thought whatever it was, she had an it factor. She just brought the fucking thunder, dude. It was better than the frickin' Cray sisters doing some interpretive ballet bullshit. You know what I mean?
Who?
They're both nice people. Laura and her sister.
Oh, God, yeah. I forgot about that. Laura Cray
It was Susanna Faulkner and
illest.
Laura at first, and then it was Laura and her younger sister.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
The nicest girls in the world.
Yeah.
But there was always, like, a dance thing. And, I mean, like... So, like, Brittany could probably hold her own against other professional musicians, but it's not like any of the dancers at the school could, like, you know what I mean? Like, really hang. So it's just like, one of these, cool. All right, in 3 minutes, we're going to, you know. So,
yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to see justice for a band, because a band never won anything. Like,
right, but nobody was going to win if Brittany was there, and Brittany was in our grade, so we were never going to see a band win. And there were some good efforts, too. I remember Andrew Gordon, I think, maybe played drums for... They had a nice string section, and, you know, it was a really good effort. You know, maybe the members of Falling Hollywood and the old version of it, who we've mentioned on this podcast, I think. But
Andrew's arms, when he played drums, always weirded me out. He was so...
Loose?
No, he was so stiff, man. Like, his elbows were, like, perfectly at 90-degree angles to his like torso, and it was weird. Like, he was good. He was a great drummer, but he just looked so weird. It looked like he was doing like the chicken dance, kind of like his elbows
very technical
were out.
Or something.
No, just like no. It's just weird. I don't know.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, he could play for sure.
No, he was really good though. He was really good.
Right. Then there was the door decorating contest, which was one of my favorites because
I don't remember that at all. Well, your aunt won every year because that was my sister's homeroom, and they swept house like every year.
I thought Cohan's room won my senior year.
Oh, they might,
because we put our collective minds together, and we put together like a pretty informative and artistically moving Kwanzaa door.
Oh.
And like Cohan's, she had a computer lab in her room for the yearbook because she was the...
Oh, that's right, yeah.
So there was two doors, so we could have like a more informative and then a more interpretive Kwanzaa. I think if we didn't place first, it was second, But I just wanted to beat my aunt so bad before I graduated. Right. Just because they always did so well. It was like, oh, God.
I know.
You know, it's like, and they even, you know, I remember you would just mess with your homeroom teacher, like Mrs. Rad.
Because we had Aaron Lonkey in our class too until he went into like the broadcast room.
Yeah. But well, I got kicked out of the broadcast room, so I came back to Cohan with you know, and we were like, if we're gonna, I mean, we got to bring some pep back into our step, you know, like let's go win this thing. And it was a good. I mean, a lot of white kids were in that homeroom, but
a lot of white kids were in that school.
What was it like? JGHIJKL maybe, like. So Kaylin Law was like our counsel or something, but it was a good tour. Yeah, I was hoping you would remember because I was just going to go ahead and say we won, but it might have been Colleen that won though.
You know, no, I don't recall at all. I just know that my sister like won every year that they were there.
Yeah. Well, they were like, but then she got a new batch of freshmen. So when your sister left, it was our time to. Right. There was an opportunity before her homeroom learned that they were supposed to be winners. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because my aunt is pretty competitive herself. Like, if you play Scrabble, she'll scratch your eyes out, man. Like, if you don't, she's like, actually, you can't play that. It's like, I'm 6. It's like, I don't give a shit. Like, learn the game or get the out. Again, like a very loving, you know, good academic mind to have in the family. But very competitive. And they were good. You got to hand it to your sister. That homeroom, they would have Tim Lockett and all them and a lot of creative minds. Yeah. And to their credit, they would always win the Penny Wars and
oh my God,
door decorating. And
they won everything.
And it was just like, but then it became, and then like, it was a good vibe because everyone that was trying so hard to beat them would just end up raising disgustingly large amounts of money anyhow. You know, they would dump quarters and dollar, you know, like, people would dump like paper money into the, you know, like, no, this homeroom. We don't want them to win. And they would still win and just be like win the highest amount raised too. Like, how are they doing this? It's like Aaron Paul in Breaking Bad. Like, they can't keep getting away with this.
John.
Do you want to do you have a song recommendation? Do you want to go into that?
Well, I mean, do we just pick our favorite Christmas song?
Sure.
Just to stick with theme. And then, you know, we had mentioned last episode about we're going to back after we do the themed episodes because we're going to do a New Year's resolution-based one next week. We'll do back to our regularly scheduled programming. And at that point, we'll review the Sum 41 album.
Have you listened to it?
A little bit. A couple of their hits. I haven't gone through the whole thing yet. Oof. Save it, my man. Save it. Oof. But you just made... well, you were like, have you listened to it? And you laughed like it was funny bad. But then you like made a sexual groan like it was like They Bring the Thunder. Well, that's a really weird one.
I'll let you figure out what I think about it.
Well, that was a hell of a collection of groans, so I'm headed right there. No, for me, it's Bruce Springsteen, Merry Christmas, Baby. If you look up on YouTube, he did it on the Conan O'Brien show, just with Clarence on the sax, just Merry Christmas, baby. I'm sure to treat you right. You know, I said, oh, Merry Christmas, baby. You know,
sounds like Elvis.
Santa come down the chimney, 3:30. Done lots of toys and cookies for my baby. I'll sing it. You know, anyway, Merry Christmas, baby. I love it. It brings the thunder, puts me in the mood. Conan's playing in the band. And Max Weinberg, who was in Conan's band when he was on NBC, is a member of the E Street Band anyway. So it was like a family affair. If you watch that YouTube video, to me, that's like, it's on. Christmas vibes are happening.
Sure.
And that and Horatio Sanz' Christmas song on SNL. Those two.
Sure. In the show notes. So you check it out, guys.
Merry Christmas, baby.
So there's a guy. Huh?
I just was telling you that's the last time I was going to sing that part of the song.
So there's a guy who he's like a YouTube, well, I mean, he does videos on YouTube, but he's a musician. He takes famous songs and turns them into minor scale songs. And he does All I Want for Christmas in a minor scale.
What's that do to it?
Huh?
What does that do to it?
It makes everything sound super creepy.
Ooh, nice.
And like he does that song, the Every Breath You Take, you know? And in a minor scale, it sounds like dudes like watching through the window waiting to kill you. Like it is
kind of a creepy song as is though.
Intense. But he does All I Want for Christmas. He does like a really awesome video. I think he does all like the drums and guitar and piano and stuff.
Wait, what song is this?
I didn't even say his name. It's Chase Holfelder.
So it's the minor version of one?
Yeah.
Of All I Want for Christmas Is You?
Yeah. It's like the production is like a metal production. It's not a metal song. It's intense though. I like it. It's
still
different.
good. It's not like ironic, bad, weird.
No, it's amazing.
Oh, okay, cool.
It's really cool.
Because there's like when you mentioned like it sounds automatically weird, I thought of they played Alvin and the Chipmunks recordings on like a slower record player setting, and it's demonic, like walk like an Egyptian, and it's just men singing slowly, so they would speed it up so it would sound like Chipmunks later, right? Just like halftime stuff. Right. So I thought you were gonna lead us into like a weird YouTube hole of like goofy demonic chipmunks or something,
like the movie trailer of the Bee Movie, but every time they say the word bee, it gets slower. Have you seen that?
No, I've seen the one where it's the Bee Movie in a minute.
Oh, dude.
That was a weird 26 meme thing. Was like let's just bring the Bee Movie back up and have a lot of ideas about. I saw one on Twitter like watch the Bee Movie, but every time they say bee, you actually text me back. Like something like that. Just you know. The internet having fun.
Oh man, I love it. Well, I'll say that one. If you're in the mood, check out the Hanson Snowed In album.
Hanson,
great,
okay.
It's good. Like it's just nothing is really like that unique.
Here's my hot take.
That's good. Ready.
Mariah Carey's "All I Want for Christmas Is You" is just the best Christmas song, and anybody who says no is just being a fucking hater. Because okay, I've been working on this theory for a while. That okay, you know how "Nevermind" by Nirvana. Or let's start with something easy. "Blue" by Weezer is their best record. I don't think anybody can really dispute that, right? "Blue" is a masterpiece, and it's the band's best work. I've been working on this thing where you could find an artist's. There is an obvious best album for every artist out there if you look hard enough, and I think obviously this is untrue because opinions exist. But I'm just gonna say like, man, "All I Want for Christmas Is You" has to be the consensus favorite. And you're just being a hater. Because people like Springsteen fans, "Born to Run" is the best, in my opinion. But that's also just fucking fact. Everyone's like, well, "Nebraska was pretty good." I'm like, it wasn't even with the East. That's practically a different artist, one. And two, it's not that good anyway, so you. But it's, you know what I mean? So people are just like, yeah, but Pinkerton's good. Or like, yeah, what about Heart-Shaped Box? No, Nevermind fucking rips. "Born to Run" rips. "Blue" rips. I'm just saying, there's like some obvious, like, I just can't tell when people say, and I still am on the fence about this because you don't like the Beatles. I just can't tell if you're trying to be a contrarian and just saying this shit to fuck with me. So I get upset because I know people love when I get upset for some bullshit reason. I hate it. I just wish they'd be straight with me. And maybe it's because I'm freaking out right now and I get it now. I figured it out. But you know what I'm saying? It's just like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. What do you have to say? What do you have to say for yourself, Tom?
I mean, I'll revisit it. I just think, I don't know, man. I'm kind of a Scrooge.
I'm sorry to rant on you because it's only you and me. Like, there's really only. It's not like it's into a crowd. You're just there on the other end of this mic. Like, what do you have to say for yourself, other person here? Like, after this huge blow up. But I don't know. It's just like "All I Want for Christmas Is You," man. It's good. It's good. I don't want.
Well, let's have our listeners tweet at us.
Best Christmas song. Is it Chance Ferdinand's "Take Me Out to Dinner on Christmas"? Was that the name of the thing? No, the one you were talking about, Chance or...
Oh, Chase Holfelder.
That's what I meant.
"Take Me Out to Christmas"? Yeah. So, "All I Want for Christmas Is You" in a minor scale? Or... So
you're admitting you like the tune?
I just think like the overly poppy... I don't know, man.
Okay.
It's fine. It's not offensive. It's fine, yeah.
I'm trying to make things, one way or another. I'm trying to make it black and white thing, but obviously it's the arts or whatever, so it can never be. Not in this world. But it would be nice if things were fit neatly and together like that. But that's not the case. There was some 80s song, the one where it's like, I'm sorry if I'm old up in all the things I used to say. I'm sorry if I don't really want to plan it to be. You know that one? I promised you I'll be.
It's a Cher?
It's in Napoleon Dynamite, I think, or whatever. Like some 80s song. There was some country singer who went through and found his favorite synthy bullshit 80s songs and covered them. And he was like, there weren't bad songs in the 80s. They were still the same. I mean, songwriters still existed. They just had weirder instruments to use. And he just does these beautiful covers of these actually really good songs that sound so hokey with those synthesizer beats, Anyway. It's I guess what I'm trying to say is just giving a song a makeover you can maybe find the beauty in it to a different crowd.
Definitely. Yeah.
To me, Mariah just brings home the thunder, and I'm like, get it, girl. But yeah, I'm gonna go listen to this Chase version, and I'm sure it's great.
It is.
I'm looking forward to it.
So yeah, anyone out there, tweet at us _Reminiscent FM. Let us know what your favorite Christmas movie, song, album.
Favorite tradition, least favorite tradition.
Favorite present you ever got? I don't know. I know mine was maybe a PS1 when I was 7. That was pretty dope.
At what point are we just begging them to tweet the show?
Well, I'm looking at. I pay a little extra for the stats on this show. There's people in San Francisco. There's a bunch of people in Denver, like downloading this, and I know it's not me. Like I want to know who you are.
Yeah, that's true. Actually,
us, let us know who. Maybe we should do this at the beginning of the show because I don't even know if they make it all the way through.
Yeah, who has that kind of time?
Right.
You know what? You want to splice this in at the beginning?
No.
Do you want me to record an intro now? Like, hello, listeners. Please tweet us your favorite blah blah blah. We were
Welcome to Tony and Jerry. Tweet at us.
Yeah. Time for the honker alarm. Wow.
We should make a real, maybe for the
jingle bells, jingle. Batman smells. Oh, daddy, no. Woo. Just like we should. Yeah, let's get a soundboard, man.
We should do it. We should do an April Fool's edition where it's just like really crude and lots of sound effects, and we just.
I think the world just needs. Well, no, because not with rape culture and all that. But I was going to say a good auga, but that would probably promote ogling or something inappropriate. So I take it back. I'm not going to go there.
Yeah, let's respect women, Pat. God.
Yeah, I agree. And I was just thinking of whatever rabbit did that where his eyes popped out of his head, and I was like, you know what? As a child, I might have thought that was entertaining, but not anymore.
No fun for you. Wasn't it? Was it Wile E. Coyote or something?
I don't know.
What the f*** are we talking about?
I just wanted to make the sound auga, but then I don't know why my brain went to that different place. Christmas is fun. We have a good time.
We try.
That was an hour and 40 minutes, man.
Oh my god.
You're gonna wrap this thing up?
Yeah. So, like I said, you can tweet at the show at _Reminiscent FM. You can find Elemental FM, Elemental _FM on Twitter.
Merry Christmas, baby.
Let us know.
I'm just gonna sing over you talking.
Sure, sing us out.
All right. Well, talk over it too, though.
Let us know who you are. We want to talk to you guys and have a Merry Christmas. We'll get back to you next week with our new.
I'm gonna treat you right.
With our New Year's show.
Santa coming down to your home. Half past 10. Lots of doors and cookies for my baby up here. Merry Christmas, baby. John. Merry Christmas, baby. John, did you?
All right, I'm gonna say goodbye, and you can
closer in paradise. Santa come down, Johnny. 3:05. Lots of doors and good for me. Maybe. All right, that's it. I'm done. See you later. Happy Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas, dude. Love you.
Santa come down the chimney.